So it is Monday and we did not vlog. Usually we vlog a little bit like throughout and stuff about, us packing everything from our show on Saturday on Whatnot. And we woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning because we had a ton of stuff to do. We had to go ahead and pack everything. There was 185 orders that we got out. And we started, I think we got up at 5. I think we started after getting the dogs settled and everything like that. I think that we came over here around 5:30, got everything that needed to be situated, and probably started packing around 6. And we packed until, I think it was 8:30. So I think 2.5 hours of packing 185 orders is moving fast. We didn't listen to music. We barely talked. It was just straight work because we had a lot to do. Right after that, none of this was filmed. We just had so much to do. Right after that, we had to do a video in the backyard to get both of the trailers cleared for the Bearded Thrift Machine. We got all that stuff done, taken up here, sorted, cleaned, everything. We got a freshy dumpster. Then we did take the tractor to the maintenance place to get it maintenance up at Horry County Auto Sales. And they're going to maintenance it. The 55-hour one is actually a really big maintenance. That's why I didn't do it, because I looked online and it is like hydraulic fluid, oil, hydraulic filters. I don't know. Listen, I'm not a tractor person. I know how to basically use the tractor, and that is spotty sometimes. But I definitely ain't working on one, honestly. I looked at this, and you can really mess some stuff up, especially with fuel and hydraulic, and I was like, I'll just get it done. But I think it's going to cost well over $1,000 to get it done. So it's a lot of stuff that has to be done to it. It does, they did fix the back thing already, because listen, I'm not really yanking on these things too hard. He just boop, boop, pop, pop, works like a charm. And then it does leak a little bit, but they said they'll check that out and see exactly what it is. So I ain't got a tractor, and I had to load a nasty sofa into this dumpster by myself. I missed my tractor already. And so we'll probably get that at probably in like a week or two. They said they're a little bit backed up, I think. So we'll hopefully get that back soon, because obviously you know that we use it every day. Now, so that brings back to, we went to the gym, we got everything to the post office, and then we filled some integration stuff for the Bearded Thrift Machine, some sponsorship stuff, and now it is 4 o'clock. We did some other stuff too, work related, and it is now time to get the next Whatnot show ready, which will be the 22nd. So right now we have to go in here, see exactly what we have for the Whatnot show on the 22nd. We sold, the only things that did not sell are these 3 birds and the HK Army glasses. I put these up 2 times now, and I'm probably not going to put these up again. I might put those in the booth or something. They're actually really nice high-end glasses, but they're just not selling on Whatnot for $20. And they're goggles that you would use for airsoft or paintball or something like that. And they're just not selling, so I put them up twice. We won't put them up again. The next show coming up, this one will also have 2 buyer appreciation $50, and then we might have 190, 100, and maybe 200. I will tell you this, that the gloves, where are the gloves at? They sold, actually, we sold out of gloves, but I do have some other gloves that I'll show you here in a second when I get this. This room in here is a mess. If you take a look, this is what I got to work with here in a second. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, play some music, move all this stuff out here. All the leather gloves that were insulated, that were extra larges, have sold. We sold, I think, a total of 45 or 50 gloves that day, like sets of gloves, or pair of gloves. Absolutely insane. And they caught fire like halfway through the show, and then they sold out. So if you wanted some gloves, I'm actually out. I'll show you the ones that I have that are nice. Actually, I kept a couple for myself. They're good for like walking around the yard, but they're not leather. They're like this Kevlar stuff, which is still great. It's just, and also we're selling them for cheap. We were selling the Kevlar ones, I think, for like $10 plus shipping, which shipping wasn't expensive and capped. And then also the leather ones we were only selling for $15, which on Amazon you could get them for like 26 plus ship. So, but other than that, we got this. Kayla's going to redo this, I think, for the next show. And also, we did just open up some stuff from the P.O. Box. Will be on the Bearded Thrift Machine. And I got me a new Christmas sweater that one y'all sent. So, I do appreciate that. But enough chatting. We have just a ton of work in the next 2 weeks. We are going to be absolutely crazy. Probably not get a lot of stuff done around the house when it comes to decorating. I think the decorating's pretty much over. We do have to clean the room upstairs, because Kayla didn't use some stuff, which then will be for sale on this show. Also, some Department 56 stuff that we're not using anymore, we're going to go ahead and sell. So it should be a really good show, but I got to go see what I got, and we're completely empty. I think this one sold but wasn't paid for. This was a giveaway that we actually ran 2 giveaways at once, I think, and that just didn't work out, but everything else has completely sold out. What I have to do is go ahead and fill these back up for the third. I think we are on show number 7. So this is our 7th show consecutive for every Saturday, I'm pretty sure. I think we did 4 in October, then we're doing 4 in November, and our next one is the 22nd, and then we're doing one the 29th, and we have something special for the 29th show that we're going to show y'all, but we'll do that after this show. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, shut the camera off, turn some music on, and then get to work. So we do have some awesome stuff. I found some Scooby-Doo and some Rudolph stuff here, and obviously we have more of the Millionaire Locker glass ornaments. Check them out. We have, so far I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which that is the most that we have ever sold, and this is the last time we have these. Unless Kayla sells the other ones inside the house, we have no more Millionaire Locker. I think we're actually out of all Millionaire Locker items. I do not think that we have any more Millionaire Locker items for sale at this time. Let me take a look. Like this right here is from the Millionaire Locker still. I have no idea what it is. Ain't got a clue what that thing is. And then you do have this from the Millionaire Locker. Still don't know what that is. And don't even know if it's worth anything. Then I have this small piece of pottery. I don't actually, again, know what this thing is. That's why I've kept it, because I don't know. That's what it says on the back. No idea what that is. If you do know, please tell me, because I have no idea. And then we do have this little thing that held something. We have this right here that I think we might keep or have it looked at, only because on this it says AG, I don't know, maybe it was $450 or something like that, but it's definitely some sort of hand-carved brass or bronze. I have no idea. But we have that, and then we have this thing that looks like it came from a seawall, but actually it is a piece of artwork that came from the Millionaire Locker. It's actually really cool looking, like when you're looking at it, and it looks like somebody didn't use a coaster. You know what I'm saying? But it's art. So we have that. So this is the only stuff that we have left from the Millionaire Locker, and I do not think that we're going to be selling that stuff until maybe we get it looked at or something. The other piece of artwork that has the towel that looks like that, I think is worth, I want to say my sister found it maybe online for like $300 to $700, but you got to find the right person to buy it type of deal. So what we're going to go ahead and do is continue on cleaning this mess up. A lot of this stuff now, it's just got to be consolidated and the bins be taken downstairs, because we just don't have the room in here to go through everything. And then we do have some more of the buyers, guys. Check them out. We have these. Now, these right here, we have a whole bunch. Actually, this is the Winterberry Folkscraft stuff. So we do have some more buyers, things I'll have to clean up. And then we do have some of that stuff. But these I was selling. Oh, watch yourself. Calm down. Oh, they're tied together. These I was selling for $30, and they sold out instantaneously. I think that they're older. I do not think that Cracker Barrel has these anymore. They're the assorted vintage glass ornaments. I'm going to put 2 up. So they went very quickly. We have the rest of them. I think we have 5 or 6. But I'm going to put them in the auction instead of buy it now. So back by the dumpster, just throwing away some empty bins that didn't have lids and stuff like that. And we have 2 clean trailers. We have Woodrow and Grayson completely cleaned out, ready to roll to pick up a lot more units. Hopefully tomorrow we can buy a whole bunch of units, because boy, do we have a lot. This is becoming a mess back here, and I just don't want to junk the place up too much. The shed is doing great. We have some stuff back here. Kayla, I think, is keeping these. I think we should just get a bigger shed or something like that, so we can get rid of this, and then this can actually go in there, because why we bought the shed is not going to work really that well. We're going to switch it to actually keeping furniture in here, maybe, that we can flip quickly. I don't know. We have some ideas in our head, but this area is becoming very kind of problemsome. Like I said before, we were not here last winter, and that building over there is like 3 houses that way, which means that I'm pretty sure all of this is going to die, which means that you'll be able to, well, we'll be able to see and you'll be able to hear us really, really well as we're doing our videos, and which don't care about that. But it's always kind of awkward when like your neighbors are staring at you when you're filming. It's just one of those things. So what we're thinking, one thing that we're thinking, which I think is going to cost a lot of money, is concrete a big area here. Now the issue is with that is that you're going to have a big concrete pad in the middle of your property that is very specific. I mean, like, we're using this very, very specifically. Obviously, we park our trailers here, park a trailer there, and then you have the dumpster. And then this area right here, obviously, is where we, you know, we would definitely move the tractor back and forth to dump stuff in there. And then we also use this a whole bunch for the tractor. Now the issue is about that when it rains, all this is completely muddy and the tractor eats it up. We looked at different tires. That's probably not the best idea. So I don't know, concrete, a huge concrete pad here would be awesome. I think it would be super expensive, but then you get away from, you know, having actual mud here. When we're out here and it has been raining, you know, we wear boots anyway, but you got to wear, you know, like waterproof boots, because all of this gets your stuff wet. We have to then make sure that none of the stuff that we're keeping gets wet. And then, so we have to bring it over here. Now we were just going to gravel all of it, which you could gravel all of it, which I think would be step one. And then maybe later on concrete it, because we got to get rid of the grass here. It's just too much headache. It's too wet. But the worst thing is like the trash. So we have to figure this out with moving, because we're going to end up tearing this up anyway. So we really have to figure out, and there's no other place really on the property where you have this much room where they would drop the dumpster, because obviously that's there because the hookups are there. The shed is there and we like it there because you can get the tractor in and out. So like, this part of the property is like all business. From like this corner right here all the way over to the back there to right here is completely business. I don't know, that might be, I wouldn't say a half an acre, maybe like a quarter acre. I don't know, that might be a half acre. So we're using like a half acre up for business. And then like from this point on is kind of all personal. It's where the dogs like to run and everything. And then obviously all of this is personal space except the barn. So I don't know. Another thing is that we're definitely gonna need a fence on this side. We already talked about this on this channel, and I think the fence is going to be pushed up to something. I don't know if we can get it done this winter or anything, but I definitely think that a fence is going to be necessary. And what I would like to do is get it to where it's fenced in totally around it. So I don't know, like, spitball some ideas in the comments about what do you think would look better, like a big pad here. We can't do a building. Buildings are way too much money. Even like a metal building, we like the sunlight. Now a metal building would be good for business because you could do the rain, you could work in the rain and everything if it was tall enough. But we would have to save up a good bit. Maybe you could pour the slab first and then do the building later. I don't really know how that works out. We're gonna have to figure out something here. One, because people, we can see people. So this is the one thing about living in the city where you don't have, you know, 5 acres, is that you definitely have neighbors like right there. So I don't know, maybe a fence starting from this tree back there for the beginning, and then, you know, then work its way this way. I really don't know the answer to this. Kayla and I are going to take a really good look at this, look at the budget, and see what we can do here. Now, this does work, don't get me wrong, but we can just see in the future that this is not going to work as well. Another thing, again, we can fix this, but these guys are very heavy, and there's a huge hole back here. This is why they had to push it so far back this time, is because right under there is like a foot to a 1.5 foot hole where these guys are digging into the ground. So that's another thing that we have to go ahead and think about, is that the damage, not the damage, but the wear and tear on the gravel area, we have to re-gravel it. I don't know the answer to it. Do we go straight concrete, which would be epic, you know, no water, no nothing, because even the gravel when it's been raining is obviously wet where you can't put stuff, especially good stuff. So I don't know, but this is huge. This would be a huge concrete pad. You definitely don't want to do asphalt because it would be super hot in the summertime. And another thing that we would be able to see better if it was concrete is stuff in it, nails, broken glass, anything like that we would be able to see, because it's so easy to pour. The thing is I don't know if they would bring the concrete truck all the way back here to port. If they could bring it back here, that would be the way to do it. But I don't think that they would do it because concrete trucks are ridiculously heavy. So those guys would probably have to wheel it all the way back here. I don't know if that would cost more money. I don't know. It's just some ideas that we're having, that we're seeing how we can tweak this to make it even better. Definitely more fencing. So Dad better get, you know, ready to put some fencing up. You know what I'm saying, Dad? Because we got some fencing to do, a lot more than we thought. Like, I did not realize that. I thought this was mostly evergreens or pines or something, but that's not true at all. Somebody is throwing stuff. Like, there are animals or something tearing up something in these, in the woods. Oh, it's these pea things. Those things are falling right there. So yeah, I don't know exactly what we're gonna do, but I'm thinking that we're definitely gonna need a fence, like a bigger fence back here. And so that will be very helpful for the neighbors. That would be very helpful where we can have more privacy, and then we'll go from there. If we did have a big concrete area though, I would definitely move the shed back here also. So I would make it big enough to where you could put the dumpster, one trailer, another trailer, somewhere you'd put the shed there, and then you would also maybe put the tractor back here on the concrete, maybe make a lean-to. I'm really stretching here, folks, on what I want to do, but it might work out. I don't know. We'll have to see how much it costs. The concrete wasn't super expensive when it came to the underneath of the barn, but this back here, I don't know if they would have to do more or less with it, but it would be a lot of concrete. I mean, I looked online, the old Google said a 40 by 40 concrete pad could cost as much as $12,000. So that is fairly expensive. As you can tell, look, it's a very sad day here. The tractor is gone. We hopefully will get it back in a week or two, because like I said, I was moving some heavy stuff in the dumpster. I do miss the tractor. All right, well, that's enough show and tell. I did actually want to show you guys one more thing. I think I showed it a little bit in the other video, but how much we've actually sold. And when you get into selling, especially on Whatnot, and even eBay, not just Whatnot, in eBay also, is how much inventory you actually need. So we officially almost did it. Like I showed this before, this is completely empty, and it was completely filled. This stuff right here is for the house, and that stuff right there is for another season. I think it's Easter, and then down here is also Easter. So we are officially almost wrapping up Christmas sales, and we always, and a lot of people always say, why do you do Christmas sales in November? Because we do a lot of decor stuff. We don't do a whole bunch of, I mean, these could be gifts, but honestly, and one of the major reasons is the hassle of shipping stuff during peak season. Is we learned our lesson. Now, it was during COVID, I think, that we had absolutely just a train wreck of lost packages, damaged packages, you know, that were late. And so it was, when I say like a lot, it was astronomical. It was almost 20% of our packages weren't making it to where they were supposed to be. So that's why a lot of times if we sell all in November, all of our stuff is already to y'all, and you have it for Christmas, and there's no problems with shipping stuff. And I'm not saying it was the post office. I'm not saying it was UPS. I'm not saying it was FedEx. It was all of them. We had issues with every single carrier in that time frame. So we were like, hey, how to combat that? We'll just sell everything early, and then in December, we'll obviously work on content, be on YouTube, and we'll just, you know, do that instead of sell everything. And then we're usually done selling in December and take December off of selling to ramp up for the next year. But we did it. We finally finished that entire room. It's ready to be refilled this entire year. We hold all of our Christmas stuff for Christmas in July. And then we also hold our stuff for Christmas, obviously, in December. So that ain't too shabby. And we do appreciate everybody coming out to these shows, because, I mean, we're selling almost 200 items a show, so thank you so much. And that's where it comes back to the inventory thing, is you got to make sure when you're selling a whole bunch of stuff, you have a very good way to get inventory. Goodwills are not, we can't do it in Goodwills anymore. That's why we move straight into storage units, because in storage units, you really can find a lot of stuff for not a whole bunch of money, more of a gamble there, but I'm okay with that. And so that's why we're doing storage units, but you definitely need a lot of inventory coming in. Honestly, nothing new in here. Dad just called me, or I just called him, and he has ordered the opener for gate number 1 over there. And then Kayla and I have been talking, we might change up what we're going to do with the other fence and the other gates and stuff. So that's going to be pushed in the future. And we just have not had time to go up to the lumber yard to see if they have lumber for this yet. We have been just absolutely crazy busy, but nothing going on inside here. I actually haven't been inside of here. I haven't turned the Mustang on, I think, in a couple of weeks. It runs perfectly fine. We've just been incredibly busy getting these shows done, all of the sponsorship stuff done and everything like that. So in December, though, we will get on to more. I think it's fun is getting stuff done around the house. That's where we're really going to get some stuff done. It's going to be in December. And, you know, you got Christmas there. So we might be able to take off, you know, maybe a couple days around Christmas and have a good time. Where am I going? I am lost. We're going to go back in here and continue on, see what we can do on Whatnot. So this is the other angle where you might be able to, like, kind of tell. Now, on camera, the property looks actually much bigger than it is, because on camera, you can barely even see that fence back there. It's not that far away. You can clearly see the fence. You can clearly see that house. So like maybe like somewhere in that region, all concrete. I really don't know. So we really need to think about it though, because the next season, as now I'm calling it the rainy season, is we got to figure something out. And then also when it comes to winter, this winter we find probably without a fence there. But in coming winters, it would be nice to be at a, you know, I would like, I'd love to have like a studio back there, like a outdoor filming studio where you can literally film rain, shine, cold, hot. I don't know. It would be really, really nice, but I don't know if that's even feasible. Maybe like a huge building that's AC'd. I don't know. Listen, when I start thinking, I really start thinking about some stuff, but I think that it might actually end this video. I know this video is probably super, super short. It was just about Whatnot and everything, but that's what we got going on right now, is that we are just really busy when it comes to selling stuff, because this is our busy season in selling, and we are on a stretch of selling, which usually we do not do. Usually, if you've been following us for a very long time, we only really sell 1 month, then take off a month, then sell a month, then take off a month. And the reason why we do that is so that we can have time to already have shows prepared for the next month. So we were back to back to back to back to back. So it really is a little bit more strenuous there. So, and we're getting it, both of us are getting slightly burnt out when it comes to this. So we only got 2 more shows, one really big Christmas show, and then the 29th show is going to be, we're doing something special on that show, but I can tell you what it is, what the show is going to be about, is it will be Christmas, and it will be kind of like Christmas jewelry, pins, and other jewelry, sterling silver, and Kayla's going to handle most of that show. So I think that's going to go ahead and end it. I don't even know if I'm going to get the rest of Whatnot actually carried out tonight. What I'm got to do is I got to go upload some video. I got to edit some video, and then later on edit this video. Tomorrow, though, it's going to be a ton of storage units. I'm hoping to get 5 to 7, realistically 3. We need to get 3 storage units tomorrow, so it's going to be on. I think there's 15 to 20 up for sale, but a lot of those will get canceled, or a lot of those I'll be bid out of. There's one with like 3 motorbikes in. I don't know. I'm going to have to call to see if they're actually being included in the sale. It's already up to $1,000, so I'm thinking it doesn't say not included, because they're actually bicycles with motors on them, which means that you couldn't actually ride them on the road anyway, which means they would not be titled or registered. So I think that they're going to be good to go, but I do want to call before we buy those, if we buy those, because we run them around here. It'd be really fun. But other than that, listen, I know this is a short video. We do appreciate it. I'm going to actually head up to the house, download some stuff, get some stuff ready for the Bearded Thrift Machine, and I will see you on the next one.